Welcome back to Sport Lab. Chelsea and Brentford played out a tense 0-0 draw in the West London derby, with Cole Palmer almost snatching a dramatic last-gasp winner. Let's break down all the key moments from this hard-fought battle.
Enzo, an important point here. What did you make of it today?
Yeah, as you said, an important point. I think we create enough to win the game. We shot more than 20 times. Probably the only thing we miss has been the goal. Sometimes you need 2 shots and you score, but it's important to create the right volume that we create today. Also, I think this is a tricky game, tricky stadium, sunny day. The pitch was dry. They tried to kill the tempo, so it was not easy. But anyway, we take the point. We move the table, another clean sheet, and we move on.
I was going to ask about that clean sheet. How important is our defensive performances? That's back-to-back clean sheets now as well.
Yeah, I think we just conceded probably one header from set pieces and the last chance at the end in transition. Overall, we controlled them very well. On the ball, I think we were very good. And as you said, another clean sheet. The most important thing, when you cannot win, it's important you don't lose. So it's okay.
What did you make of the second half performance, maybe in comparison to the first half? So what did you say at half time?
No, we just prepared the game in the way the game was, in terms of because we play Thursday night. The idea was to start in one way and finish in the other way, and this is the reason why second half we play with the Nico, Cole, Pedro, the ones that they were inside. But Keenan did very well, very good game. Noni also, after a long injury, is back and almost 1 hour good, so happy for them.
Cool. I wanted to ask about Rob Sanchez as well. As you mentioned, he made that important save at the end, and he made an important save at the end of Spurs as well. How pleased are you with his sort of progression now?
No, yeah, Robert is doing, I said many times, he's doing well, but I think also their keeper was very good and we could score some more goals.
And then, of course, the supporters as well. Obviously a West London derby, but how important were they?
No, absolutely. And you can see at the end that they also, appreciate, I think, the effort from the players. And this is what we need until the end, because with them we are much better.
Tosin, important point here. What did you make of it today?
Yeah, it's a tough ground to come to, so to come away with a clean sheet and a point is a positive we can take.
How did you find the game today? A tough one defensively?
Yeah, it's obviously they're an end-to-end team. They get 11 men behind the ball and they attack fast, but we dealt with it well. We just didn't manage to score on the other end.
And that's back-to-back clean sheets now as well. You must be happy with that one.
Yeah, definitely back-to-back clean sheets. It's always important, and it's going to be very important for these last few games.
What's it like going up against players like Vissa, Mbeumo, all these sorts of players, especially away from home? How do you get used to that sort of challenge here?
Yeah, those two are a very dynamic duo. They attack you hard and fast, and they have good combinations. But we dealt with that today.
Nice. And we now go into another important week. We start off with Legia Warsaw next week. How important is it going to be that we keep that momentum going now?
Yeah, definitely. We go to Warsaw and we try to get a result there to take back to Stamford Bridge and push on in that competition.
And a message on the supporters today who are cheering from
Enzo, what did you make of that, and did you think the second half was better than the first when you made the changes?
Yeah, I think overall we play a good game. We prepared the game in the way the game was, in terms of starting one way and finishing the other way. We play Thursday night, demanding game, 24 hours less than them. Tricky stadium, tricky game, sunny day. The pitch was dry. They tried to kill the tempo of the game. So for me it was a complete game. But overall, as I said, I think we did enough to win the game. We shot more than 20 times, and probably the only thing we missed has been the goal. But overall, happy with the performance.
Can you explain your selection decisions a little bit in terms of the Tottenham game as well, in the Legia Warsaw game, how you're managing your squad and why you made the selections you did?
No, the reason why is because we play Thursday night, so not all of them, they were 100%. So the idea was to start in one way and to finish in the other way, and the plan nearly worked because, as you said, second half, the last half an hour, probably we create a little bit more. But I think overall the volume between first half and second half has been enough to win the game.
But some people would say maybe Brentford away these days at the moment is harder than Tottenham at home. Would it not have been better to rest players maybe there? That's what some people would be asking me.
This is a different opinion. I'm here to try to do the best for the club, for the players, and I work every day with the players so I can see them the way they are. And to be honest, I don't know if Spurs at home compared to Brentford away, it's better or worse. For me, they are all complicated. You can see, and Brentford, I think, it's very clear what they try to do, how good they are, not only in set pieces, in transition. And I think unless the last transition we concede, we control them very well. So, yeah.
Matt?
Your home results have been very good, but you haven't won now in 8 Premier League games away from home. Is that a real problem for Champions League qualification? Does that have to get better before the end of the season?
I think we start the season winning away many games. We won away games and we struggle a little bit at home. Now it's in the other way. I think to get top 4, top 5, or fight for title, you need the right balance. Probably, as you said, in this moment we struggle a little bit more to win game away. But overall, in terms of numbers, I think we are there since we start, and hopefully we can. From now on, we can win some games away, but also it's important, I think, to continue to win the games at home.
But does it put pressure on your home form? Does it make it difficult going into those home games?
No, to be honest, I don't prepare. For instance, I didn't prepare today game thinking, guys, it's a long time, we don't win away, we need to win away. No. Since we start, I always said the same. When you are not able to win, it's important that you don't lose. You take the point, you move the table, and as I said, I think also at this stage of the season, 24 hours make the difference, to rest energy. But this is the reason why I'm happy with the performance, because they gave everything.
Can I just ask one more then? Were you annoyed by the scheduling? Do you feel it was unfair?
I think so, yeah, especially at this stage of the season. But we try to adapt, and because, as I said, Thursday night game was demanding game, we said many times that when it's transition game, it's demanding, physicality demanding. So Tottenham was more transition than compared to today, for instance. But at this stage, I think 24 hours make a difference.
Miguel?
Just on exactly that, Enzo, FIFA implied that teams should have 72 hours between games, and they don't really follow that themselves. What sort of a difference does it make, and where do you put the blame for this?
No, if, as you said, if there is a rule that about 72 hours, probably you need to respect that. But it's not just about today or our game. It's probably every weekend or happen many times that there are teams that they don't have rest for 72 hours and they try to adapt. At the same time, we try to do our best. The reason why first half we start in one way and second half we finish in the other way is because of that. And probably if we decide to start first half in the way we finish, probably after half an hour, 45 minutes, the team was not physicality enough good to finish the game. So we try to find solution like today.
Liam?
Hi Enzo, there's been a lot of focus on Cole Palmer not scoring, but all of the attackers are struggling to score right now, and in other games you've had Enzo Fernandez stepping up, Marco Correa scoring, but how important is it in this final stretch that you get more production from all of those attackers?
No, it's will be very, very important to get some more goals from the ones at front. But again, I think we are 3 or 4 scoring goal of the Premier League. So I don't have the feeling that this team need to score more goals. And also when we don't score like today, we shot more than 20 times. So I think the question is, for sure, we want more goals from the players at front, even from set pieces in general. We want to score more goals. But I don't think it's the reason why, I don't think it's a problem in terms of we are the top 3, top 4 in terms of scoring goal. We create chances every game, probably. We struggle to create chances in 1 or 2 games, but the reason why was also because we play without a 9. If you remember, the last 4 or 5 games ago, we struggled to create chances, but it's also normal. Now with the Nico back, I think we are creating. But at the same time, we are scoring goal, and hopefully, when you shot more than 20 times, hopefully next time we can score. Sometimes you need 2 shots and you score. it's like this.
Jacob?
Enzo, it's been a while since Christopher Nkunku got a chance to play up front. It seemed like he struggled to take that one. What do you put it down to? Is it just the type of game, or do you sense a lack of effort at all?
No, I think it's just a game. I don't think it's like effort, because at the end I can see Christo every day and he's working well. Sometimes probably he wants to give more during a game and he struggle a little bit, but for sure I don't think it's a lack of, as you said, effort, exactly.
Dom?
Can I also ask about Nkunku, please? Because you brought him off at half-time. It felt like he struggled a little bit in terms of his hold-up play, and when Jackson came on, his hold-up play felt better. I mean, did you feel that difference when Jackson came on? Why do you think that Nkunku struggled a little bit today?
As I said, we planned the game in this way, to start in one way and to finish in different way. So we also think that probably after 45 minutes, 1 hour, our team was getting better and better, and they probably, because we tried to keep the ball, they ran, and after 45 minutes, 1 hour, they could be tired. So we expect to improve in the second half. And then in terms of Cristo, I always said the same. When they work hard and they give everything, it's not a problem.
And we'll finish last question here, please.
Not an obvious question, but could you sum up how important it is for Chelsea to qualify for the Champions League next season?
If I'm aware of that.
How important is it?
How important? Yeah, no. It's for sure will be very important. I said since day one that our duty, our target is to bring this club where this club has to be, that is Champions League. And I think since day one, since we start, we have been there, always top 4, top 5. For part of the season, we were second. So I think since day one, we are there, and hopefully we can finish there.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, Thomas.
Hi.
Enzo just come in and said he thought his team deserved to win. I wonder if he thought maybe your team deserves to win.
I guess we are all slightly biased as coaches, and we definitely look at our side of the elephant. It's probably difficult to look from the other side of the elephant unless you are on top of it. I felt we performed well, and I felt that we were clearly on top first half. We definitely got momentum, had the better opportunities, probably should have scored. I thought second half were more even. They were a bit more on the ball. I thought throughout the game we defended very well. We limit basically Chelsea to half a chance for James on a corner. The rest for me was shots outside the box, which we're quite happy with. Then I thought we were really a threat when we went forward, really good to go behind them, really good to run at them. And for me, maybe I'm slightly biased, I saw 5 very good chances to us. So if you look at the big chances, then probably up there for that. The Wizard header, the Dams chance, the Brian shot on a transition, the Keane free header on a set piece, and of course Sepp's big header. So I think if there should have been a winner, I think it should have been us. But I thought it was an even game, a good game between 2 teams. Very happy with our performance against a top club. Spent a few quid on players over the last year or 2, and a good manager, and they're well coached.
I was listening to you there. You said you defended well, but maybe in the second half, attacking in general, apart from that transition, was more difficult. Do you wish you had maybe more options on the bench? Because I was looking at it, thinking you don't have much to work with.
No, I think that's spot on. I think if you look at quality players they put on the pitch. I think was it called Neto? I think it's called from Wolves, 50, 60 million. Cole Palmer, maybe one of the best 10s in the division. Jackson done brilliantly for them, and what did Cucurella? 1 more. So I think it's fair to say they had a little bit more to shoot with than us. We have that in our squad. Unfortunately, some of them are injured. So I think again, if we have something to shoot with, I think maybe they would have tipped it even more.
Enzo said that it was unfair that Chelsea had to play Thursday, quick turnaround. When they're able to make changes like Madueke comes in, Nkunku, France International comes in, do you have much sympathy with that?
I think that must be his opinion. You know, it's football. I know there's many games and a big program, but yeah, I can just look for our perspective. We try to deal with it when we have short turnarounds.
Do you think 24 hours makes it? I mean, generally, just 24 hours.
Yeah, I think it does. To be fair to that, I think it does. But that happened to all the time. You know, I had, I think, once this season where I felt that we were the team that had the least rest between games before we played our Carabao Cup quarterfinal against Newcastle, and the furthest away of all the other bigger clubs. So that definitely got bigger squads. That was the only time I raised it, because I don't think it was fair. All of them had one more day. So I think the 24 hours means something. If we have 2 days between, we'll deal with it. We'll manage, no problem. 3 days, that's good. Always, that's not a problem. Then there's a bigger talk about the amount of games over a year. Not for us. But if you play a lot of Europe and go far in the cups and all that, and need to play that Club World Cup, which is still ridiculous in my opinion, then I understand it's too much.
Can I dwell on that? Why is the Club World Cup ridiculous?
It's just another tournament. So how many wants the Club World Cup? Do you want it?
I don't. Chelsea do.
So,
Management, not the club do.
Yeah, it's one of the few, I think. Yeah.
Will you watch it?
Me? No. I'll enjoy my summer. I'll not watch it. No chance. Yeah.
Does it ruin the competitive balance as well? Because there's going to be 2 clubs in the Premier League with over 100 million revenue extra. Like, does that concern you, that kind of thing?
I think, from my point of view and where we are, can't really compete with that sort of money. The good bits is actually compete out here. So that's I'm very proud of, even that they have hundreds of million more to spend than us. And if I should say one thing I said, I think we were closer to win than they were, which I'm very proud of.
Brentford haven't won 8 home league games.
You're so positive, and now you come with that question.
I was about to say.
That's fine.
Sort of stat might be looking inwards sometimes, but after a performance like that, it probably doesn't do, does it? Because you'll feel that you were the better team and you had quite conceivably enough chances to win that game on the day.
Yeah, I think I understand why you have to ask the question, because you haven't won in 8 games. You know, of course, there's it's definitely a stat I prefer not to have. The same way we couldn't win in the beginning of the season away from home. We won 5 on a bounce. Sometimes it goes up and down. Sometimes it's more consistently over a season. Sometimes it's not. But it's down to our performances we always look at. And I think we've been really consistent performance throughout this season. We just played 2 good games against 2 good teams, Newcastle and Chelsea. Everybody expect to fight for Champions League spot. Both games should easily have won. I think that, which I'm very, very proud of. Today, I agree, we performed more than well enough to win. Same against Everton, same against Tottenham. Can't remember the other games we just played there. But so it's just games that we couldn't edge.
With Sepp Vandenberg and Nathan Collins, obviously they've come back in as a centre-back partnership. How good was it to sort of be able to have them 2 playing together in the centre of defence together?
I think they looked good before Sepp got injured. So I think they're a really good, interesting partnership. And I think they perform well today. Yeah, I like that.
And how do they sort of complement each other?
I think, sometimes, it's relationship between the 2 of them. I think they're very good to also to communicate and, how can you say, guide each other, which is a big thing in the middle of the pitch.
And then obviously Michael Cody came on today. He offers something a little bit more different from right back. I wondered what you made of his sort of brief cameo.
Fine, solid, good. Happy.
Thomas, just on the wider subject of the calendar, do you think it is affecting football negatively now? I mean, do you find it when you play teams who have been in Europe? Or, because there's a lot of talk as well about how this Premier League season even is beginning to feel a little bit flatter.
I don't know what the right thing is. What is the perfect calendar? But the intensity in football goes up. Premier League, European football, and there's no doubt there is a limit to how good you can perform or at what intensity you can keep performing at over a year. that will affect performances, that will affect players, that will give more injuries. Do we need bigger squads then or not? Or do we need to find a better calendar? I don't know. One thing for sure, we can't keep adding. Doesn't work.
Thomas, did you feel a bit kind of disrespecting that Chelsea left out Palmer and Jackson today?
No, I guess they got their reasons. Yeah.
Did you look at the team sheet and think, oh, what's in the derby?
No, I think Nkunku is a very good player. Jusper Hall is a very good player. They played then James and Gusto instead of Cucurella. Tosin, it's just a strong squad. I think it fit with what we talked about. There's a lot of games. You need to try to balance your team. I guess that I haven't asked Enzo, but I guess that's why I try to do.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
It was a game full of chances, but neither side could find the finishing touch. Chelsea started brightly, with Reece James setting up early chances for Christopher Nkunku and Tosin Adarabioyo, but both failed to hit the target. Brentford responded well, with Jon Wissa coming closest for the hosts, striking the side netting, and Mikkel Damsgaard squandering a golden one-on-one opportunity. The second half saw Chelsea push forward, with Nicholas Jackson and substitute Pedro Neto forcing strong saves from Mark Flecken. Brentford, meanwhile, had Brian Mbeumo testing Robert Sanchez. But the best chance came in the final moments. Cole Palmer curled a brilliant effort just over the bar with the last kick of the game. Chelsea's away struggles continue. Enzo Maresca rotated his squad after a tight schedule, and his side looked sluggish in the first half. Despite an improved second-half display, Chelsea's away struggles persist. They've now failed to win in 5 consecutive Premier League road matches. The Blues now shift focus to European action as they prepare to face Legia Warsaw in the UEFA Conference League before hosting Ipswich Town. Honeybee Brentford finally keep a home clean sheet. Thomas Frank's team showed fight and energy, but their struggles at the Gtech Community Stadium continued. This was their 8th consecutive home league match without a win. However, there was one big positive. This was Brentford's first Premier League home clean sheet of the season, thanks to an excellent performance from goalkeeper Mark Flecken. Brentford's next challenge, a tough trip to face Arsenal before hosting Brighton. Can they rediscover their home form before the season ends? What did you make of Chelsea's performance? And can Brentford find their home form again? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Sport Lab for all your latest football updates. See you next time.